Shit. This is what I'm feeling like. Da, 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 da. Let me tell you what I'm feeling like. Da, 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 da. Yo. What up, though, people? Like to welcome you back to the Keep It Casino podcast. I am your boy Brown. To the left of me is Empty. Shout out to Vito. His boys, San Fran, pulled off the upset against the Cowboys. I guess it was like Vito's Super Bowl. Vito is MIA, people. I haven't heard from Vito since San Fran knocked off Dallas. I guess that was his Super Bowl. But shout out to Vito. I'm here to hold it down dolo. Shout out to the Greenroom. We got some people in the Greenroom. Reek, Zion Rice, what up, though? So, let's get right into it. Wild card weekend. We know Vegas got knocked off. New England got the brakes beat off of them. Philly, they took a L. As I said, Dallas was upset. Pittsburgh sent Ben Roethlisberger on his way. And LA, baby, the Rams, we did the damn thing to Arizona. So I want to get into it a little bit because there's a couple interesting things going on with some of the teams that got eliminated. Like Dallas. What do you do with Dak? He kind of disappeared again in that game. Do you give him a big contract? What about the other guys, Cooper and them? What do you do with them? So it's a lot of things going on with Dallas. The Eagles. Do you keep Jalen Hurts? You got 3 first-round draft picks. I'm going to say that you need to package all of them draft picks and try to get somebody like Deshaun Watson, and I'll tell you why. I'm a Rams guy. Anybody that know the Rams, know NFL, they don't believe in first-round draft picks. Sometimes you hit with them, sometimes you miss with the first-round draft picks. But what I will say about the Eagles, these 3 first-round picks, I would package all of them and get rid of them. And the reason why I would do that is because over the last 3 or 4 years, Howie showed me and whoever is the scouts for the Eagles, they're showing me that they cannot draft at all. But we'll get to that, though. But I want to talk about teams like New England. What do you think New England needs? Me personally, I think they need a receiver. But what do you guys think? What does New England need? Roethlisberger is gone. Who should we be looking at to replace him in Pittsburgh? Like, we got a lot going on. But I want to start with Dallas, the Cowboys. Overhyped or no cap. I thought they were no cap, but Dallas just seems to be Dallas when it's playoff time. 12-6 record, 6-0 against the NFC East, 6-6 versus everybody else. Dak Prescott, I mean, some people said he was good. Some people gave him a lot of credit this year. If you've seen earlier episode, I went through it with not only Vito, but Kyle and Mike from 28th Street, because I don't think Dak is that good. I don't think no quarterback in the NFC East is that good. And I will keep reminding people of Carson Wentz. I see we got a request in the green room. I'm going to get to y'all. I just want to get this off. Do you re-sign Dak? What do you do with Zeke? Is Zeke done? I mean, it's a lot going on with Dallas. That receiving core, I thought they were going to be a top-notch receiving core. But now they look like they were overhyped. Like, none of them guys showed me that they were legit. Even Micah. Micah got hurt, and it seemed like as soon as Micah got hurt, it changed the whole complexion of everything, like once he got hurt. But what's your take on Dallas? I'm gonna go to the green room. I'm gonna see, cause I see we got a request from somebody. Tone, what up though, Tone? My co-host Tone, shout out Tone in the building. What you got to say, Tone? You still there?
Listen. You know, when I speak about the Cowboys, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna talk my talk.
Yeah, talk your talk about the Cowboys, Tone. What you got to say?
Now, everybody that know me know I hate the Cowboys with a passion.
Right.
But that ain't the problem.
Who's the problem?
The coach.
I
I
mean,
said it when they hired him. He's overhyped. He made his bones on Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers.
right,
Without them, he would be nobody.
right.
So I feel like they're not using Zeke right. They're not using Dak right. You got too much talent on that offense to be running it the way they do. You dig
Right.
what I'm saying?
Right. So I'm saying, how do
They
you how you think they supposed to use that?
listen. The way they used him when they first got him and Zeke, play action passes, run the rock, play action passes. Because you're outside, you got four legit receivers. You dig what I'm saying?
Right.
Four legit receivers, so you should have no problem with anybody getting open. And you space the offense to get deep Zeke some easy runs. But their coach is too stupid. And the crazy thing was he's not even as bad as Jason Garrett was. But they was both dumb. They didn't know how to run their offense.
But now let me ask you this, Tone, because me personally, I've said it for a while now. I think Zeke is done. He's not explosive anymore. And I
Yeah, he
think
done.
that's part of that's part of the problem when you got part of the media saying, "Oh, you need to feed Zeke." When they were this team, they was feeding, but that was years ago. Zeke is not that anymore. That's first. I think once they get that, they gotta go through what the Rams just went through with Ty Gurley. Once they realize that it's not the same player no more, the quicker you can realize that, the quicker it can help everybody else in your offense, because you still gotta give him certain touches and all of that I don't think really he deserves, and it causes confusion because everybody say, oh, they need to feed Zeke more. They need to feed Zeke more. They need to. And it was the same thing they were saying with Gurley, but instead of the organization coming out saying, look, Gurley ain't the same player no more. They just keep him in the mix, and it kind of confuses things. I think it's time for Zeke to go. I don't know if you re-sign Dak, but they need more, to me.
See, this you're right. Zeke is done, but the difference between Zeke and Gurley is the Cowboys killed Zeke. You dig what I'm saying? Dude was averaging so many touches that you knew he was going to break down.
That was
You dig what I'm saying? They
Gurley.
didn't really want to share the wealth. Like Gurley had injuries. Zeke ain't really had like a major
Yeah, but
injury. You dig what I'm saying?
Gurley was getting 85% of the touches on our team, and that's what wore him down. Like it wore Zeke
And they
down.
killed him like that. And that's the same thing they did with Zeke. They could have been spreading the ball around, but they could have been using Zeke a little bit better. Like Tony Pollard is a strong number two. He could be a number one on some teams. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So if you'd have gave him some touches to relieve Zeke and stop trying to have him carry the whole offense, you would still have him for about 5, maybe 2, 3 more years.
Yeah,
But
but
y'all didn't kill him. Y'all didn't dog him out. He done.
I think that goes back to the quarterback. I don't think we can, until the NFC East gets real competitive, I don't think you can take one quarterback from the NFC East as serious. Again, go back a couple years ago when everybody thought Carson Wentz was that good. Those I'm not saying
It's
they're
true.
not I'm not saying they're not good. What I'm saying is when they're in the NFC East, Dak Prescott and these guys are getting overhyped a little bit. And my thing is this. Even when like I said, we had the debate a couple weeks ago. I've been going back and forth with Vito for weeks now about just Matthew Stafford and Dak Prescott. And what everybody tries to say is, oh, well, he had Megatron. He had Megatron. Nobody focuses on the defense. Nobody focused that he never had a top 25 running back ever. But what I try to tell people, I say, if you start somebody's career, take Dak Prescott. You start Dak Prescott career in Detroit from the year after Megatron retired. Not just Dak Prescott, but a lot of these quarterbacks that are getting hyped up, you put them in Detroit the year after Megatron retired, and most of those guys are either not in the league no more or they're on somebody's sideline holding a clipboard. You see what I'm
You're
saying?
right.
So
You're right.
Matthew Stafford, his numbers is really great on a bum team, but if imagine he would have been playing in the NFC East. And to me, he's probably right outside the top 5, like me not being biased. But I'm saying his numbers are top 5 numbers on a horrible Detroit team. And I don't
But
think
if you look at organizations, a lot of organizations kill quarterbacks. You dig what I'm saying? Like Detroit almost killed Stafford's career. You dig what I'm
right,
saying? Dallas did the same thing. If you remember, before they got Romo, they ran through like 12 quarterbacks
right,
in a couple of years.
right,
Their system, the way that Jerry Jones has the Cowboys set up, he has too much. He's been trying to pedigree Jason Garrett for 15 years. You
facts,
dig what I'm saying? He's been trying to wait until he was ready. So he was forcing the coach, and he was basically putting a square peg in a round hole. You trying to make something that ain't there. And this
right,
dude don't really, it's proven because he went to New York and he ran another quarterback in the ground.
right.
He don't know how to run an offense.
Yeah, that's a
He
fact.
may be a good guy to give you some ideas to maybe design a play, but he don't know how to call an offense. Mike McCarthy is the same type of coach. He don't know how to run an offense. And they're killing, like, if you look at Dak's first year, they went what? Like, they went to the playoffs, right?
13-3.
13-3. That was the formula for how you win with them. They ran the ball, play action pass. You get the ball to the skill guys, right?
Right,
Then you go out and get Amari Cooper,
right,
right? You get Amari Cooper. So now you got a top receiver, but you ain't using them right.
right,
You still trying to go to Witten and all of this other stuff. You still trying to get the ball over the middle. You ain't using your skill. So then they get CeeDee Lamb. And you got CeeDee Lamb. You got Amari. You got all this talent on the outside. But yet and still, you still tight end focused on your offense.
right.
When even right now, Blake Jarwin is not a good tight end. He's not. They force feeding this dude to make him look good. You put him on another team, he's a number 3.
What's the other kid though? On the other tight end, because the other tight end he played more bigger paws towards the end of the season than the receivers did.
That's because they force feeding him.
No, but I mean, he was open a lot. He was open. They tight end, he was open a lot. He became a steal like at the end for fantasy football. Because
there's a reason why he was open so much. You have 4, I'll say you have 3 legit receivers that could be number 1s on any team. With CeeDee, Amari, and my man that just got hurt. I can't think of his name right now. But they're all number 1 receivers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So the floor, the field is spread. So your tight end, yeah, he's going to be open because who's really thinking about it? But if you think about that on the other hand, if you would have used Zeke right, you could have been running a rock straight up the middle because it's wide open.
Right.
But they don't know how to run offenses. And they're going to run all of their players into the ground for the next couple of years because after Zeke is going to be Pollard. After Pollard is going to be somebody else. And they're going to keep running these guys in the ground, not realizing that they're doing it wrong.
Well, like I said, I think Zeke personally is done. Me personally, I think Zeke been done for like 2 years now. You know what I mean?
He's done. And after that year that he took off for the contract thing, he was never the same.
Right. And to me, he was always like one-dimensional because he never really caught out the backfield. So with that little bit of explosiveness gone, it's like he's over with. But
exactly.
CeeDee Lamb and them guys are good. I would have agreed with you a couple weeks ago where they can be number 1s on other teams, but we already know, Tone, when the game is on the line, them guys that you put up there, T.O. and Jerry and all, they're gonna find a way to get open. And all them guys, like I said, the only one that consistently played good over the last 5 or 6 weeks was their tight end. He was the only one getting open. CeeDee Lamb has a problem where he drops the ball a lot, and I know because he was on my fantasy football team, he drops the ball a lot. Amari Cooper will go off one game, and then he disappears for 3 straight games. Like, they got a lot of goofy stuff with them, so... You know, I'm not going to lie, though. I fed into the hype. I thought offensively and defensively, they had the most complete team. But, again, even if you have the most complete team, you still got to put it all together and play.
And that's it. And because real shit, in the league, Dallas has one of the most complete teams. Outside of, like, maybe a Green Bay, a Tennessee, maybe a Buffalo. You know what I'm saying? Dallas is stacked top to bottom.
And to me, they're more complete than most of those teams you named, like Green Bay.
The other teams they perform. The coach, I'm telling you, man, their coach, they don't know how. Well, I'm glad, being an Eagles fan, I'm glad, but they don't know how to pick coaches. They get lucky with talent every once in a while, but then some goofy shit happen in the organization because it's a goofy ass organization. You know what I'm
Well,
saying? If you notice, every time somebody come there, their career basically just derails.
well, Tone, I'm glad we're speaking on the Eagles because I'm glad you mentioned them. I know that's your team. We got a couple people in the green room that are Eagles fans. Shout out to everybody in the green room.
Right.
You got 3 first-round picks.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do? Is Jalen Hurts the guy? Is he not the guy? What do you do? What do you think as the Eagles fan need? What does the team need to do?
Your first 3 picks in this draft should all be defense.
Should all be defense?
All 3 of them. All defense.
So you're on board with keeping Jalen Hurts?
At least this year. And there's 2 reasons for that.
I got you, A. I got you as soon as Tone done, A. My bad. Go ahead. Somebody was requesting to come on. Go ahead, Tone. What you were saying?
I got you. Yeah, I'm gonna move on so y'all can.
No. Go ahead and say what you was gonna say.
So the quarterback crop this year is terrible. It's one of the worst quarterback crops in like the last 10 years.
As far as the draft, right?
As far as the draft.
Okay.
So I'm not taking any of them guys. The only quarterbacks that may be available through trade or free agency, you don't really want. I don't want Aaron Rodgers. No disrespect, but I'm not giving up anything for Aaron Rodgers. Even if I got to sign him in free agency, he's 30-something, 38 years old. He ain't got much time. And I'm not saying that this roster would definitely win a Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers next year. So I'm out with that. I'm not using my 3 draft picks to get Russell Wilson. Nope, he's on the way down.
Hold that thought, Tone. Okay, people, yep. you hear what Tone's saying. With you Eagles fans, would you want Aaron Rodgers next year? Eagles fans, would you give up those 3 first-round draft picks for Russell Wilson next year? Tone says no to both of those things. What do you guys say? Go ahead, continue, Tone. I just wanted to, get everybody else involved. What else?
I'm gonna keep running down the list. Deshaun Watson. I don't want him. It's too much of a distraction for the team, and he's gonna need some things to make it work, right?
Right.
So if you're smart with the Eagles, your whole first round, if you can get him, you go to Kyle Hamilton from Notre Dame. That's your new safety. This dude is versatile. He can get it done. He can cover the back end because that's one of our main problems. We can't get pressure on the quarterback because they throwing it over our head so easy.
Right.
Go get you a new defensive end because Brandon Graham's getting older.
Right.
Then you work with you either get a linebacker or a corner to go along with Slay.
Right.
Because we need to shore up our defense. Because the real talk, the way we run our offense, if we had a good defense, we could basically take what the Ravens do. Run the rock, control the clock, defend the game. You dig what I'm saying?
Right.
Get you a receiver in the 2nd or 3rd round to get rid of Rager. He's got to go. He's trash.
I'm glad you mentioned him, and I'm glad that you're saying what you're saying, Tone, about drafting our defense. My thing is this, and you're one of my guys that know that I've been beating a dead horse for the last couple years. To me personally, the Eagles are one of the worst franchises when it comes to drafting. That's Absolutely. Me. And this is 3 picks in the first. To me, it goes back like I'm going to say some things you just said. Like with the Deshaun Watson thing is a distraction. I do agree. But all those quarterbacks you named, regardless of age or anything, they're an upgrade. They're a total upgrade. Jalen Hurts cannot be running around, scrambling, running for 100 yards when it comes playoff time. You need a quarterback that can throw the ball. That's another thing. As far as the draft, the distraction here is when you have those 3 picks, and I think the pressure gets on you to make the right decision, especially when you've been making the wrong decision. I want to give you some names. 2018. The Eagles took Dallas Goedert at 49, right? Mm-hmm. They already had what's my man they just traded?
Zach Ertz.
They already had Zach Ertz. Now, when they take him at 49, the 70th pick in the draft that year was Fred Warner. Okay, you saying they need defense. They've been needed defense. The 86th pick that year If you're gonna take a tight end, the 86 pick that year. 37 picks later was Mark Andrews from Baltimore. So 2018 you missed out. 2019 you took the 22 pick. You took Andre Dillard. He's only played about 9 games where he started since you drafted him. You missed Josh Jacobs at 24. You missed Montez Sweat at 26. You missed Deebo Samuels at 36. All right, at 53, you picked Miles Sanders, and 57, you picked J.J. Arcega. But you also missed out on DK Metcalf, who was 64 pick, Deontay Johnson, Scary Terry, A.J. Brown. So what I'm saying, the list go on. Jalen Reagor, the same guy you say they need to cut. 2020, they picked him with the 21st pick. The next pick was Justin Jefferson. The 25th pick that year, Brandon Ayuk. T. Higgins, 33rd pick. Even Michael Pittman Jr., which was 34th pick. All those receivers are better than Reagor. Even if you go down the line, Jonathan Taylor was the 41st pick. Claypool. Like, these guys have missed on so many draft picks that I wouldn't even put the pressure on them to draft this year. I would trade as many of them picks as possible and get a sure player. That's my thoughts. That's my thought. Go ahead.
This is what I'm saying right now.
Not to mention, time out. One more. Devontae Smith. Now, I know you messed up on Reagor, so you had to go back and get a receiver this year. Devontae Smith is cool, but Philadelphia is from Pennsylvania. So it's no way that you let Micah Parsons go to Dallas 2 picks later when you guys are in Pennsylvania with Penn State. That was a horrible pick, but it all comes back from horrible picks a couple years ago, because if you pick right on the receiver 2-3 years ago, you don't need Devontae Smith this year. That's why I'm saying at the end of the day, the GM is hard. Whoever's controlling the draft is horrible, and you don't need that debacle, because you're going to become if you mess this draft up. And how many times as Philly fans say it? You see the Sixers got 3-4 picks, the Eagles, and every fan says if we mess this draft up. And 9 times out of 10, Philly teams mess that draft up.
Here's the real though. This and if anybody look at it, this offseason is the most important offseason we've had in probably 10, 15 years.
Right.
And I'm going to say it because of this. We got 11 draft picks or something like that, right? 3 first rounders, mid-round joints, right? You can get some quality there. Plus, we got, I think, the top 5 cap space in the offseason.
Right.
You dig what I'm saying? So the rebuild could be fast. You dig what I'm saying? They did Devontae Smith, great pickup, but he was a mistake corrector. Like you said, because we took Reagor over Justin Jefferson. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now, DK Metcalf was somebody that I said before the draft is a steal wherever you get him. If he's number 1 overall, he's a steal.
Right.
But they can't evaluate wide receivers. That's bottom line. The only reason why we took Devontae Smith is because it was obvious. He's a Heisman Trophy winner, game breaker. It's easy pick.
Right.
Wide receiver. That's why you heard me say no first round wide receivers. Y'all don't know how to pick them.
But see, even with that, though, that's what the pressure comes on, because even, let's say, the defensive players, you're saying, go all defense first round. Well, usually it's going to be 2 or 3 safeties that's on that board, 2-3 cornerbacks that's on it. Whatever position you want in that first round is going to be like 2-3 positions. And it seems like the Eagles always pick the wrong person.
Well, see, this year is obvious. This draft is really, if you look at it from the first round standpoint, it's an obvious draft of who you should take. If Kyle Hamilton is still there at 15, you do not let him go by you, because he is a difference maker. They have rush ends, like there's, I think, 5 top tier rush defensive ends in this first round. You know what I'm saying? So you really can't miss on that unless you try to get cute. You know what I'm saying? If you try to get cute like we did when we took Brandon Graham over Earl Thomas.
Right. It's
you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. You know what I mean? If you look at the last, 2018 was a good draft for us. If you look at what we got out of that, you know what I'm saying? We have some of our core players. And I think Dallas Goedert is a better tight end than Mark Andrews. But we'll get into that another time. Last year's draft was a complete changeover from what we usually did. We took 2 Alabama players.
Right.
SEC hunting. You dig what I'm saying? Lander
Right.
Dickerson is a steal because he's going to be a beast on the O-line. You dig what I'm saying?
Right.
So this year, I'm looking at the SEC for defense. My first round picks, 2 of them are going to be from the SEC. I want Kyle Hamilton, and I want some defensive players from the SEC. Maybe that defensive tackle from Georgia. You know what I'm saying? Fletch, who knows if he's going to be here, how long he's going to be here. You need somebody in the middle, and you need an end.
It's time for Fletch to go.
It may be, and I hate to say that because that's my man, but if you could get something back for him, hey, you might have to do that. But this
even
year
if it's just cap
important.
space, you might have to do that. I'm just saying.
Yeah, well, we got the space, and we probably gonna. There's rumors out there that Brandon Brooks is gonna retire, so that's money off the draft book.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And technically, you already have his replacement on the roster. You got Isaac Siamalo. Move him over to the right side.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So your offensive line is short. So we ain't really got to bang with that. Defensive line, defensive pressure, your backfield, that's our main concern. You can't mess this up. You can't trade the picks because if you trade the picks, you roll in the dice that next year they'll fall in the right spot. They're right now. This is as good as it's going to get.
Well, I say trade. Listen, I'm a Rams fan, and the Rams showed that you do not need a first-round pick to compete. What I'm saying is, for me, being as though the Eagles have missed on so many drafts, what I would do is I would keep one of those 3 picks and package the other 2 to get somebody that I know is gonna, no matter what the position is, if you're gonna keep Hurts, go out there and get him somebody that you know that is a bona fide, whatever the position is, a bona fide star or a bona fide player. It don't even have to be a star, but that's what I would do with those picks, just because it looks like predicting and guesstimating who's gonna be is not good for the Eagles. They're not. So let's just trade them picks away and let's get somebody that we've already seen be good in the league. That's what I think.
Now, the only way I agree with you, there's one player that I agree. I would take that deal where we keep the one and trade the 2 is if you go get Calvin Ridley.
Okay.
If you could bring me back Calvin Ridley, I'll get rid of them first 2.
But see,
because now you got 2 game breakers.
Let me. Before I ask you a couple more questions and get everybody else on here, let me ask you this, because Deshaun Watson is a distract, and you said a lot of these things now we seen Calvin really break down during the season. Is he mentally strong enough, not to play sports, but to play in a rough city like Philadelphia? Because you know how this city is.
It's true. He's going to have to. It's going. You know what's crazy? It's going to depend on how he starts. Because we're going to embrace him when he get here. Because we know who he is. We've seen him over the last couple of years. We know this dude can ball.
Right.
He come out and ball out just the way. He ain't got to do no better than he does in Atlanta. Just do exactly what you was doing down there.
Nah, what I'm saying is this year, those 4 for 43 yards after Julio left and he was supposed to be the man, that won't cut it with Philadelphia fans. You know that, Tom. Especially if they're losing. That will not cut it. So my thing is, mentally, would he be able to be strong enough to be in a city like this? Because I see a lot of people saying go after Ridley.
The reason why I say he would, because he wouldn't be the target. You got to remember, right now the target is Jalen Hurts. So if he goes 4 for 43, they're not going to look at Ridley. They're going to look at Jalen Hurts and why he can't get him the ball. So my man's got a free pass for the first year.
Okay.
Because they're not going to be on him like it's your fault. They're going to still be on Jalen like he can't get the ball to Ridley. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So he's got that pass plus Sirianni, because they're going to be like, all right, Sirianni can't draw up plays to get these dudes involved. So he's got a pass.
Right.
So if he comes here, he's got a chance to ball out and be a favorite. Because what do we always want? We want a game-breaking receiver.
Right.
You get me one of them in this city, you can't do no wrong. You can't. Look at not just T.O. Look at when Dante Stallworth came here. We thought he was the second coming. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Kevin Curtis. All of these dudes that was like pretty good. When they came here, we embraced them like they was gods because we have been so receiver starved in this city. Other than Deshaun, maybe Jeremy Maclin, T.O. for a minute, we haven't really had a receiver in this city until Devontae.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So he has a chance to be a hero, to be a GOAT, because you got to get out of jail free card, pimp.
Okay, now before we wrap you up, I'm gonna ask you this: Pittsburgh, who would you see behind under center next year? Who can you see?
Ooh, they better go get Russell Wilson.
So that's where you
Because
think
if
Russell.
you put anybody, get Russell because you're not getting it. The only quarterback that's coming out next year that's worth it is the bull from Pittsburgh, Kenny Pickett.
Right.
All the rest of them are trash. Even Malik Willis, he's okay, but I don't think he's there yet.
Well, they saying that basically they share the same training facility, so Pitt might already be looking at him at the quarterback from Pitt.
But see, this is the thing. You got to trade up to get to him because he's going in the top 5.
Yeah, so
you know what I'm saying?
What
he
about
may go to Detroit?
What about Aaron Rodgers? Where you want to see him at? You want to see him in Green Bay still?
Get him. If you can get him in Green Bay, get him because he could take them over the top.
All right, what's
you know what I'm saying?
Give us one more team that you think Aaron Rodgers could take over the top if he go there next year.
Maybe a Cleveland. Maybe Cleveland because Cleveland ain't a bad team. Baker Mayfield's a below average quarterback.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Cleveland, Miami, nah. New England.
New England?
If you put Aaron Rodgers on New England, they win the Super Bowl hands down. Hands down. I don't care who you line up against them. You could put them against Pat Mahomes. You could put them against Baltimore, Tennessee. Nobody's stopping them with Aaron Rodgers.
Okay,
Aaron Rodgers makes receivers.
Last question I have for you, Tone. Minus the distraction, is Deshaun Watson one of those quarterbacks that can still take these teams that we're mentioning for Aaron Rodgers over the top? Can Deshaun Watson take a Denver Broncos team over the top? Put them over the top. Like, is he still that guy, or did the year away? Is it gonna hurt him?
Not if he's been studying film.
Okay.
If he's been working out studying film, that Denver Broncos team is a quarterback away from a run. That defense is legit. They got good receivers, and they got 2 legit running backs.
Facts.
Yeah, he could definitely do that for them.
Facts.
Bro, keep doing y'all thing, man. Love y'all boys, man.
Ain't no doubt.
I'm always listening, man.
Ain't no doubt, Tone. Appreciate you, baby.
Yes, sir. Y'all be good, man.
Ain't no doubt. Hey, what up, though? Hey, you still on here? Yo, hey. Nah, hey, gone. We got anybody still on here? What we talking about, people? What's your thoughts, though? How you feel about the Eagles? Give me one landing spot for Deshaun Watson, people, before we get out of here. Let me know. What's the best spot for Deshaun Watson? How about Dak Prescott? Should he stay in Dallas? What's a good spot for Dak Prescott to steal a ring? Keep it a C note with us. Let us know. Russell Wilson. Should he stay in Seattle? Should he go somewhere else? Is his time of winning chips done in Seattle? Keep it a C note with us. I already said Deshaun Watson. Also, best quarterback, even if it's out of these guys. Who's the best quarterback for Pittsburgh? They're saying Ben Roethlisberger is done, so who do you got? Divisional round this weekend, people. Who you like? Who do you like this weekend? Saturday games, we got Cincinnati at Tennessee. Keep it a C note with us. Who you taking? I'm a little torn in between this game, but I think I'm going Tennessee. The late game on Saturday, you got San Fran at Green Bay. Keep it a C note with us, people. Who you taking? I'm taking Green Bay. That's just my thoughts personally, but what about y'all? Sunday, LA Rams at Tampa to play Brady and the boys. Keep it a C note with us. Who you got? Nightcap. Josh Allen, Buffalo Bills. At the Kansas City Chiefs. Keep it a C note with us. Who do you got? I already told you I got Cincinnati. I got Green Bay. I'm taking us for the upset. And I'm taking Kansas City. That's just my thoughts. Yo, yo. Yo, yo. But yeah, though, we're about to wrap this episode up. As always, we appreciate you for tuning in. I got to find Vito. Because here's my thing with Vito. Vito's MIA right now. San Fran wins. So are you going to be MIA if y'all beat Green Bay? And most importantly, Vito, are you going to be MIA if my prediction happens and Green Bay knocks y'all off? The people need to know where you at, Vito. Keep it a C note with us. I seen you on the pictures partying with Debo somewhere. I'm like, damn, these niggas think they won the Super Bowl. You gotta relax, Vito. This was not the Super Bowl. This was wild card round, and you still owe it to Sean McVay because he did y'all a favor. If you know, you know. But as always, people, I am your boy Brown. We appreciate you for showing love, for tuning in. Keep hitting us up. Keep commenting on them posts. Until next time, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell everybody. Keep it a C note. I'm your boy Brown. I'll holla at you.
Shit. This is what I'm feeling like. Da, 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 da. Let me tell you what I'm feeling like. Da, da, da.